Hey everyone, today we're diving into the intricate world of Overpass, uncovering the utility that is currently being used by the pros. First off, we'll cover some CT utility, and then later in the video we'll go over some T-side lineups. If you enjoy this kind of video, make sure to subscribe for more. Now let's get into it. So the first smoke that we're going to throw is going to be thrown almost every single round. What you're going to do is get yourself wedged in the corner between the dumpster and the wall, and then aim just above the tip of this telephone pole. Then simply you jump throw the smoke.
Laying down smoke.
This smoke will travel all the way down here, bouncing off the railroad into the monster tunnel, blocking it off so the T's can't go through. Another way to throw a very similar smoke, but from B site, is to come over here to this wood, get lined up on it. Then you're going to find where this line of this building would intersect with this roof. So it'll look something like this. And then you simply left click throw the smoke.
Smoke.
Once again, it'll bounce right off the edge of the railroad and into the monster tunnel. Alright, so another piece of utility that we're going to be throwing almost every round is the water Molotov. It'll land somewhere right here at the end of the short pipe, and it will prohibit T's from immediately taking water control. And the fastest way to throw this is to have your incendiary out as you're running through hell here. You're going to left and right click, and as you're coming out, you're going to find the corner of this building, and then aim just above it right here, and then you just release as you're running.
Incendiary out.
That, I'm going to pop someone in this general area and make sure that the T's can't get out. So a few pieces of utility you can throw alongside your water Molotov right there. If you have teammates pushing in from short over there, what you can do is initially you can nade into that short pipe. So once again, you're going to kind of line up with the corner of this here. You're going to jump up on these sandbags and then just jump and throw.
Grenade.
Doesn't have to be perfect, but it should land somewhere in this area. And then you can follow that up with a flash by bouncing it off of this wall right here.
Flashbang.
And what that'll do is it will allow your teammates to push into short. So if we have that rethrow right here, looking towards the short tunnel, and from the T's perspective here, it will full white them. Right, so some additional things you can do from this sandbag here. You can also jump peek. You can use this to check both the short tunnel, see if anybody's over there, and you can check inside of con if you kind of strafe off to the left. Placed a bot right in here, so as you can see when we strafe off here, you can see him. One thing you can do is you can kind of spam, line up along with this crack here, and that'll kind of just spam the door area. And another thing you can do is you can jump over here on top of this stack of wood, aim at the top of this light, and then left click a grenade.
Throwing a grenade.
And it will toss a grenade right inside of the con door. Another piece of utility that we see being used quite a bit is a self flash to peek monster. So what you're going to do is as you're running up, you've dropped into pit, you're going to aim somewhere along the ramp right here. And you're going to right click and then run and jump throw the flash, turn away, and then you can swing and peek to see if anybody's rushing in. You can see from the T's perspective, if they're pushing out here, this flash will absolutely destroy them. And the last thing we'll cover on B site here is a piece of utility you can throw to help your teammates up on A. So if you know your enemies are coming up through Speedway, what you can do is you can drop into pit, kind of aim at the top line of this piece of concrete right here, and then jump and run through a flashbang.
Deploying flashbang.
And what that'll do is it'll pop right over the speedway right here, so any of the T's that are coming up will get absolutely destroyed by it as well. Alright, so up here on A, there's two pieces of utility that you're going to use every round if you can. The first one's going to be a smoke to block off the peak and mid here. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to land it right in this area. What you do for that is as you're running up speedway here, you have your smoke equipped. You're going to find the top of this little smokestack, and you're going to go down into the middle of it. So you're going to initially line up at the top. You're going to left and right click, and then as you're running, you're going to jump forward.
Laying down smoke.
What that'll do is it'll bounce right off this pillar right here and block off the middle. And then you can pair that up with the Molotov for playground. What you're going to do for that is you're going to find the center of this dark line underneath this one here, so it's going to be right in that area. and then as you're running past the second wall and divider here, you're going to jump throw. So that'll look like this.
Incendiary.
So a couple of common HEs we see being partnered up with the stairs control grenades that we just threw. This one will pop over the Molotov that we just threw in playground and punish anybody trying to go through it. What you'll do is you'll get into this corner right here, aim at the corner of the stairs, run, and jump throw.
Grenade out.
This will slow down anybody that's trying to go through the molly, as well as doing extra damage. And the other thing to do when the stairs are smoked is you can jump up into party here, have your HE out, and then just run and throw
Grenade.
behind it, doing any damage to any of the T's that are just waiting for the smoke to disappear. So that's pretty much it for the set lineups for CT. Most of the smokes that you're going to end up throwing are going to be pretty self-explanatory, so if you wanted to smoke off front bathrooms here, all you would do is just left-click a smoke them there. Same thing with Speedway, you just want to bounce it off one of these pillars or the wall. Same thing with Long. The smoke spread out quite a bit in CS2, so you don't really have to worry about them being too accurate. You know, you have the same thing with Con, you can smoke off this whole thing, or Monster, without really having a set lineup. And same thing with the short up here. So now let's move on to T side. So on the T side, we're going to take a look over towards B site first. One of the first smokes you can throw right out of spawn is going to be your Monster Lurk smoke. What you're going to do is get stuck in the corner between this car and this pillar, and then you're going to find the right edge of this concrete pillar and this dark leaf right here. Find where those intersect, and then you're going to jump throw your smoke. Now this smoke's going to go all the way through the monster tunnel, making it so that if the CTs have thrown their monster smoke, what you can do is push through and the CTs won't be able to see you. Then you can follow it up with an HE to clear the smoke, and clear out jail, and even up towards barrels a little bit. A piece of utility we see being thrown almost every single round when able is the short molly, which will prohibit the CTs from getting into water to take control. So this molly is going to land somewhere in this area, and in order to throw it, what you do is, as you're coming out of spawn here, you're going to left and right click your molly, aim directly underneath the tip of this arrow where it would meet the ground, and you're going to jump throw as you pass by this smudge on the ground right here. So it'll look something like this. And then the molly will come right over here and molly off the entrance to short. So as a T taking water control, you can have your teammates support you with some flashes that will pop right up here. In order to throw those flashes, what you're going to do is get lined up with this concrete pillar right here, and then aim at the center of this circle on this traffic sign, and then left click jump throw a flash. As we can see, this does not blind the T's at all as they're coming out of the pipe, and from the CT's perspective, it's going to absolutely wreck them. So if you're struggling to take water control because the CTs are throwing the short pipe Molotov, what you can do is throw a smoke to extinguish it and help yourself get out of that pipe. So what you're going to do is you're going to get stuck in the corner between this little jutting part of the wall and the actual wall here. And then you're going to aim at the top of this circle on the porta-john, and then left click jump throw a smoke. And this smoke will land right over here, and it will make it so that you can't be seen exiting the short pipe. It'll extinguish the molly, and you can get out behind it and gradually clear out water. Now we'll get into actually taking B site. So what we're going to do to smoke heaven is get into this position here where we're on top of this dirt mound lined up with this white patch on the wall. Then we're going to aim at the bottom of the pink ear where it would meet the green head. Then we're going to run and jump through the smoke once we reach the bottom of the mouth. This is a pretty precise grenade, so make sure to practice.
I'm throwing smoke.
Another common way we see heaven smoked is from this water position, where you'll get stuck between this wall and this sign. What you'll do then is take your smoke out and then left click throw right in the middle of this line right here. This is frequently seen as part of a nade set where you first flash onto the site. What you'll do for the flash is line up with the door, and then aim in the middle of this metal thing right here, and then left click throw. This flash will pop behind the wood, making it so that none of your teammates coming out from monster or short get blind by it, and anybody that is in heaven or pit, hell, or graffiti will be blind. So here's how to molly out that annoying barrels position when you're entering out through monster. So what you're going to do is kind of get lined up on these stairs here. You're going to aim just to the right of this pillar, kind of up here on this concrete. Back up, and then what you're going to do is left click, and then shift, and then throw once you're kind of halfway through that concrete right there. Just something like that. It's a pretty loose lineup, but it takes some getting used to, so make sure to practice this one as well. One way to make your entries on to be a little bit easier is to soften up any of the CTs that are playing on the site. So one of the compositions here is this pillar spot, and what you can do to nade this is from this position over here, you're going to get stuck into this corner, aim halfway up the left side of this line of concrete, and then take a step and throw. To land right on top of anybody playing there. And then another composition is right here. In order to chip down that player as well, what we can do is jump on top of this sandbag and then aim just over the top of this roof, and then simply left click throw. Now here's some B entry flashes. A good set lineup here is to aim slightly above the center of this line for this box right here. So aim just a little bit above that, and then left click throw, and that'll be a nice initial flash. And then you can back up a little bit, aim at this pylon right here, and then take a step and throw. So the first flash will pop right above here, blinding anybody that's holding from a position like this. And the second flash, the beautiful thing about that is it'll pop behind the pillar, so as your teammates are coming out from monster here, it won't blind them, but it will blind anybody that's playing from this side of the site. Another common flash we see for B entries is to get into this position here, aim along the bottom of the graffiti right here, take a step and jump throw. And this flash will pop right up here, so if your teammates are entering through monster, as long as they're not looking over towards jail, they will not get blind by the flash. Another way to throw it is from over here at this position here. You're going to just kind of line up at the top of this thing, maybe a little bit above it, and then just take a step and throw. Once again, popping in pretty much the same area, so as long as your teammates are looking towards the site, we'll be fine. And then one way real quick here, let's say if the tunnel is smoked off and you want to pop through that smoke, what you can do is line up on the top corner here of this little line, find this dude's bottom right spot of this eyelid right here, and go down into the middle of the pink region right here, and then just left click throw. And this will pop right at the entrance of monsters, so if it's smoked off and a CT was watching it, they'll get absolutely destroyed by it. And then some entry flashes from the water side over here. From the same spot that you throw the heaven smoke here, you can pop out some flashes here by aiming at the bottom right corner of this piece of concrete and then left click throwing. And this will pop directly over this area, blinding anybody that's looking towards monster. But it won't get any of your teammates so long as they're not too far out. A really common play we see being used to take control of connector here is to have two people enter down with their Molotovs. The first person is going to immediately throw their Molotov off of this pillar right here. And while they're doing that, the second person is going to swing out a little bit, make sure that the first person doesn't get pushed. And then the second person is going to walk up after the first person starts holding the angle. They're going to bounce their molly off of the gray part of the wall up here, trying to land their molly up here to push any CTs back up. So that'll look something like this. One thing you do have to be mindful of, you have to make sure that you clear this corner because any CTs could be stuck back here because the first molly won't go in there. So after you've taken connector control, if you want to get out into water, a very fun flash that you can throw is to get into this corner, crouch, and then find where this line would meet the stairs, and then you're just going to left click throw. And that flash will go through the window out here, and as it pops you can open the door and clear out anybody that's looking in from short. So now, working towards the upper portion of the map, if the CTs have thrown the stairs control smoke and playground molly, one thing you can do to prevent them from pushing through party into playground is toss this Molotov. So you're going to be on the right side over here. You're just going to go just to the right of this pillar, kind of where this gap in the leaves is, just above that, and you're going to run and throw a Molotov. And what this will do is it'll bounce off of this wall here, making sure that any CTs can't push through into playground, letting this molly burn out so that you can take control. So another thing to note is a pretty common spot to play once the stairs, smoke, and playground mollies have been thrown out is this spot right here, where you can kind of peek towards this side and hold the stair push from this side. One way to molly that out while the smoke is still up is to get into this corner. You're going to aim at this black dot with your molly, and then you're going to jump throw. This will land right on top of here, mollying off this area and also down in this corner, which is a somewhat seen spot as well. Also, if you know that CTs have been playing up here in party, one thing you can do is toss an HE their way. What you can do is kind of come up this slide and then just bank it off of this pillar right here. Just take a step and throw, and it'll do some chip damage to them. Nice little nade set you can throw is to, while you're running up here, you're going to aim at this branch and left click your HE while you're running, doing chip damage to any CTs that are trying to run up. And if it's not smoked off, you can actually line up a bathroom smoke by getting into this corner and then aiming at the bottom of where the fence meets that pillar and then jump throwing. That'll go directly into the bathroom doors and smoke it off. So a good play to take some space up Speedway after you've smoked off bathrooms here is to jump up onto the fountain, aim at the kind of base of this tall leaf right here with the molly, and you're going to shift walk just a tiny little bit and then throw the molly. Something like that, and it will Molotov off the divider and this pesky corner right in here, so you can walk up. So once you have some control of Speedway, you want to go into an A hit, what you can do is get into this position in the center of this pillar, and you can throw almost every grenade from here. So what you'll do first to smoke off bank is to aim at this white dot right here, and then jump throw smoke. That'll land just like that. And then to smoke off the dumpster, you will have a teammate drop you a smoke, and then aim where this line meets the edge of the wall, and then jump throw. And then take a couple steps forward with your molly, get up to this edge right here, and aim where the first line would meet this pillar, and then jump throw. This will Molotov off behind truck here. And then take, yet again, another step forward up to this wall here, just above here, and then jump throw flash. And that's your A take from Speedway. Here's one way to flash people off angles long. So if your teammates want to get out, what you can do is stand behind this tree here, aim at the end of this red line, and then run and jump throw. You need to make sure that your teammates only peek after the flash is out, because it will get them as well. But it's pretty effective for getting CTs off of their angles. So now here's a couple ways to throw some A take nades from long. So throw the dumpster smoke, what you can do is get yourself lined up along the right edge of this pillar. And you're going to aim along this pillar and find the third line up, and then jump throw your smoke. That will smoke off dumpster, and then from the same spot you can Molotov off truck by aiming at the bottom of this part right here, and then shift walking and jump throwing your molly. So a slightly different way to throw that nade set is to get along this wall, and what you're going to do is line up the left black line of this pillar with the right line of this pillar here. So once you have that kind of lined up like so, you can throw your dumpster smoke by aiming at the top of this trim right in the middle, and then jump throwing. And then to molly off truck, what you're going to do is kind of aim at this leaf that's sticking out from the branch, and then you're going to take a step and throw. So then a nade set that you can use to smoke off bank and have an entry flash come out is to get yourself along this back wall here. You're going to line up along this wall and go just to the left of this knot in the tree and left click your smoke. just going to smoke off bank, and then from this pretty much same spot, you can just flash by going directly above this street lamp to the leaves up here. You're going to take a step and throw, and that flash will pop all the way over here, making it so that any of the CTs that are on site looking towards long will get fully blind by it. The last thing I want to highlight is a smoke that blocks off front sight while you're coming up long, so that you don't have to worry about clearing out truck, speedway, bathrooms, or sign. What you can do for this is have one of your teammates come up over by this tree. They're going to find this dark spot on the wall, line up with it, and they're going to aim directly above the first post right here, and then jump throw the smoke.
I'm throwing smoke.
So this smoke will land front sight here, blocking that off, and then you can follow it up with some of those similar long flashes that will pop over the APC kind of just like this, so that your teammates can get up and fight anybody that's coming up from dumpster or bank. So that's about it. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. See ya.